Hello, dear followers of Burundi National Television. Welcome to the English News Edition top stories. Administrative authorities in Bulonga Province are called to be a guiding light for the population by performing their duties in accordance with the law. Clotilde Kamimbare, second Vice President of the Senate, made this call on Saturday during the passage of the peace torch through the communes of Makamba and the Nyanza in Bulonga Province. And here in Bujumbura, political capital, in the middle of the night, some bars in the city of Bujumbura played extremely loud music, preventing residents from getting proper rests. The permanent secretary at the Ministry of Home Affairs, Theophile Ndarufatiye, has called on the local authorities and law enforcement to closely monitor the situation and sanction those responsible in accordance with the law. Welcome, dear followers, to details now. Administrative authorities in Bulonga Province are called to be a guiding light for the population by performing their duties in accordance with the law. Clotilde Kamimbare, second Vice President of the Senate, made this call on Saturday during the passage of the peace torch through the communes of Makamba and the Nyanza in Bulonga Province. Details with Edisioro Kamkama.
After community activities in Rutana Commune, the peace torch has arrived in Makamba Commune this Saturday, where it was received by the population and many authorities at the border of the two communes, among which the Vice President of the National Assembly and the second Vice President of Burundi Senate, all of them natives of that province. The peace torch has also been led to the Burunga province in Makamba Commune, when it was received by the governor of that province. On the same place, it has enlightened the construction of a touristic place on a more than 2-hectare place. They have continued at Nyanza Commune, where the peace torch was received by the inhabitant of Nyanza town before the pavement of classrooms at the fundamental school of Mamugwa. Those activities align with a 100 days campaign launched by communal authorities, as has indicated the administrator of that commune. On that occasion, the population has been advised to actively participate in the implementation of 2040 as emergent and 2060 as developed vision, and not to be discouraged by negativist speeches. The second Vice President of the Senate, Clotilde Kamimbare, has called on leaders to be good example of the population by working in respecting laws, and to the parents, she asked them to take their children to school because the country needs an intellectual youth and intelligent, able of contributing in Burundi vision implementation, emergent in 2040 and developed in 2060. After Nyanza, the peace torch has continued to Rumonge, where it was warmly received by the population and the administrative leaders.
Always in the same line, and the administrative authorities of Buhumuza Province affirm their readiness to set an example for the population in sustainable development. The governor of the province, Denise Ndaruhekele, emphasized that each household is encouraged to initiate a project aligned with the 2040-2060 vision. These officials expressed this during the passage of the peace torch through Buhumuza Province. Also, this Friday marked the closing of a workshop aimed at updating the guide to investment and cross-border trade in Burundi. Participants, key stakeholders from the trade sector, contributed many new elements that will be integrated into the guide before its final validation. Simomana Consolat, Director of the Foreign Trade, stated that contextualizing this document was essential to improving the business climate, particularly in the area of cross-border trade. Edisioro Kamkama once more.
Organized at Bujumbura by the Trade Ministry in collaboration with ARET International NGO, the aim was to collect propositions so to reshape the investment guide on conflict resolution and to align it with Burundian context, a guide that aims at giving to investors and transporters, commercial businessmen, on legal and illegal practices. On the closing day ceremonies, Consolate Bisiwamana, Director of External Trade at the Ministry of Trade, has declared that the document is of a paramount importance in the transporters' trade facilitation. According to her, once approved, that guide will get profit with the businessmen because it will help them to avoid any kind of conflict. She then announced that the next step will integrate new guidelines proposed in that workshop before a validation session that will be organized after that. Note that guide will focus on transporters, traders, and the investors who use the northern and the western borders of Burundi.
As you are informed in headlines, in the middle of the night, some bars in the city of Bujumbura play extremely loud music, preventing residents from getting proper rest. The permanent secretary at the Ministry of Home Affairs, Theophile Ndarufatiye, has called on local authorities and the law enforcement to closely monitor the situation and sanction those responsible in accordance with the law. He reminded that the current regulations prohibit both bars and churches from playing loud music during night time hours and that penalties are provided for offenders. Fabien Nyonizigiye.
The atmosphere that reigns in the certain karaoke bars and the nightclubs in the economic capital of Bujumbura during late hours, where there is excessive noise caused by musical instruments that disturb the peace and the quiet of those nearby. Mrs. Asha Nahombaye complains about the noise caused by the Chicago Hotel bar located in Kamenge Kota. She says her family has difficulty resting. However, Pascal Nigarura, the bar's manager, indicates that the bar has implemented all measures to prevent this noise pollution, which disturbs the lives of residents in this neighborhood. The permanent secretary of the ministry responsible for security indicates that law is clear and rather urges the administration to fully play its role. You will also know that in addition to these activities of bars and the churches, there are also industrial companies in the capital of Bujumbura that operate at night and can also disturb nearby households.
And the Burundians must understand that the tax currently taken on a mobile phone usage is destined for the national treasury and not for the accounts of telecommunication companies, contrary to what some believe. This clarification was made in a statement released on September 30th by General Directorate of Limited following complaints from some subscribers who say they do not understand the deduction made from their balance in an unclear manner. Emma Gloria Ishimwe.
In the city of Bujumbura, several residents are questioning how the annual mobile phone usage tax is being applied. Those who spoke to us said that they have repeatedly received deduction messages that do not match the official amount required, which is 2,400 Burundian francs per year. Responding to those concerns, Lumitel Deputy Director General Didmon Vukiye provided some enlightenment. He explained that the recent deductions have no connection with the collection carried out in April 2025, which corresponded to the 2024 and 2025 fiscal year. He also noted that the payment process is flexible, meaning that 50% of the available fund balance is deducted until the required amount is fully collected. He reminded the public that paying this tax is a legal obligation and stressed that the funds do not go to the operator but are transferred directly to the National Treasury with the goal of contributing to economic development and strengthening the telecommunications sector.
Thank you, dear followers, for your attention. This is the end of our English edition. Keep watching our program. I'm really going to miss you.